Live. There we go.
All right, what is going on, everybody? Frankie here for the Bakersfield Gentleman with my brother Miguel. You guys, we are here at Culebra's Lounge in Bakersfild, California. It's a semi-cold, kind of rainy day today.
It's a good day. I like it.
I like the weather like this. I really, really do. Because of course, starting next month, we're starting getting to the 90s, and then the month after that, we'll start getting to the triple digits, and we'll be like that for the next 4 months or so. So, not looking forward to that. So these cold, rainy days, I'll take them while we can get them. Today, you guys will be smoking the Cigars and Masfinos House Blend in the Sun Grown. This is the Robusto size here. Give you guys a quick little look at that, if you guys can see it.
There we go. Yeah.
And that will wrap up our week 4 Cigars and Masfinos House Blends.
Oh, for Cigars?
Yeah, Cigars.
You're pulling a little bit of Chris on me there.
I am. But today, you guys, we have a special guest for you guys, Jerome Berry. And we actually met him for the first time. It was at IPCPR. It was not yet PCA. And of course, we always look forward to getting to hang out with him, getting to see him at the events out in Vegas. So, great guy. Can't wait to have him on. If you guys have any questions that weren't already posed to us, make sure you guys tune in and put them in the comments, and we'll get to as many of them as we can. He's into photography. He's into cigars. He's into alcohol. So, any questions you guys have for him, make sure you guys put those in the comments so that we can get to them and we can get them asked for you guys. With that being said, Mike, I'm going to let you bring him on and I'm going to do some sharing.
Do your sharing. It's time to get this iconic smoker on the screen. Bear, are you ready to do this? Give me that thumbs up if you are. Perfect. There we go. Brother, it is good to see you.
What's going on, brothers? How you guys doing?
Oh, doing very well. It is exciting to have you on. Again, we got to see each other in person, so this is different than usual. But right. I am excited to get to talk to you whenever I get to talk to you, brother.
I don't know about the excited part, but yeah. Because to talk to me is like talking to air. I mean, it's nothing, not too much to talk about.
So you're saying it's what I need to survive right there, all right? I need that in my
life. Just a little bit.
Right before the cameras rolled, though, we were talking for a quick second, and I want to, because this sounds like a great combination to me, let everybody know real quick before we get into the big details what you're smoking and drinking for today.
Yeah. Okay. So the executive decision I made was to have the knuckle sandwich Robusto. This is made by Espinosa Cigars. And then I'm doing the Santos Tequila, and this is a stolen from Chris Cerezo, aka the Magician, who's my co-host. And this is the Reposado, which is it's tequila made in bourbon barrels. So I'm a bourbon guy, supposedly. I mean, the background's fake. Don't worry about that. But I definitely like bourbon, so this is the reason I'm going after this. And plus, he's not here, and I get to drink up his stash while he's gone, right? So
that is a privilege right there. You have to be able to take a couple little swigs here and there. And I'm definitely curious to try that one out too. I'm gonna have to pick up a bottle because I love tequila, first of all. Love bourbon, so obviously great combination. But there's a really good trend with tequilas getting finished in other casks. And we actually had one that I think it's on shelf up there called Dami Mas. That was finished in sherry casks. Pretty good stuff. I'm not gonna lie. That was some wonderful things. So different experiments with tequila. I'm on board.
Yeah, man. If you do decide to get this one, get the original bottle as well.
Look at that man pulled that right out of the green screen.
Impressive.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I work with a magician, so don't blame me. So this is the Santos Fino, and this is the Blanco, and this is the original version, and they utilize this to make this. So if you're gonna try it, always start here and then work your way. I believe they got like 4 different bottles available. So I mean, you could either go to the website because they ship directly, because I think Chris ordered them directly from the website and then they shipped here.
Nice.
But I mean, but if you want to support your local shop or brick and mortar, go right ahead and do so because they definitely need the boost right now.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. So before we get too much more into it on the show, we're going to give you a chance to introduce yourself, let people know who you are, where you're from, what you do, kind of, a little background before we get everything started.
Man, where do I begin? All right. Iconic Smoker JB. I'm with the Iconic Smokers. We're like a collective of photographers, videographers, marketing guys. We also do challenge coins for a ridiculous amount of groups and also companies as well. I am the official photographer for the Barn Smokers. If you're going to the Barn Smokers this year, so you'll see me with a Drew Estate / Iconic Smoker shirt on. I do a lot of the big events, IPCPR, PCA, and I work for several different companies in different capacities depending on what they need on that date and time. And then on top of that, we throw our own events, and we tend to party like rock stars. A lot of people love following us because they want to see who we're hanging out with. So just in this last month, we were Guy Fieri. Who else? Swale, a rapper, Terrence J, and a couple other guys or whatever. So it's pretty interesting, man. We kind of get around, and we definitely enjoy what we do. We have our own Facebook page, Iconic Smokers. Our motto is "It's a lifestyle, not a club." So, we have our own challenge coins for ourselves, which is the Iconic Smoker Black Card. So our members carry these around. We have a shop version that's coming out soon as well. So shops will have them like in their store, so that that shop is Iconic Smoker certified. So when you go in there, you get the same treatment that I would if I were to go there. So just a couple little things there, I guess. What you guys want to know?
Fantastic. That is fantastic. Nice. So you mentioned that you're the official photographer for several different events. What got you into the photography world? Was it something you had a passion for when you were younger? Was it something you kind of fell into?
So it depends on how you're asking the question. If you're talking about for how I got started in photography, period, or how I got started in photography for the cigar companies.
That's a good question.
Let's go with the very, very beginning. What brought you into the photography world?
So I've always had a passion for like documenting moments since I was in like godly. I think I got my first camera in like either middle school, which was like the old school where you had that yeah, and then snap, keep going, and then you run out of film. Then you take it to Eckerd's. Remember Eckerd's back in the day? So you take it to Eckerd's. They take it into that little red room. They develop it, and then you see how much garbage you took pictures of. It. You're like, oh my god, I just paid all my my savings to develop pictures of a bug that I see every day. So that's kind of where I got my start. And then you kind of develop your eye, and you develop your style over the years. That comes from basically what you can afford, right? So obviously, if you can't afford certain equipment, like, and all you could do is do Polaroids or point and shoots or whatever, then your pictures are gonna reflect that. But you can still make it your own based on the angles that you choose, the quality of the photo, in a sense, or whatever like that. But then when you move into a digital age, like when about right in the time you guys met me, I was working with mirrored lenses. So then my photos became more vibrant. I was starting to use Photoshop. I don't really correct faces. Like I do all that stuff. So if you got pimples and all that, make it disappear. But and I'll make, there's a difference in quality when it comes to photos. So you have your regular photo that you put out for like Facebook, Instagram, then you have your magazine quality. So when you're taking a picture for a company, like an ad or something like that, lifestyle shots are a bit different. It has to be polished. So you go through, we work the letters and all that stuff, whatever. So but what happened is you understand that every company has a price point. So based on that price point, then that's what you work for. So if you're one of those guys that you don't mind working for cheaper one day and working for high the other, then so be it, or whatever. But they have to understand that you're going to give them the quality for what they paid for. You know what I mean? So don't expect movie quality if you're only giving me a $5 budget. So
yep, no, that's 100% true. That's I think it's something people don't realize about photography, filmmaking, about a lot of the arts. It's a job that is dictated by the quality. And you can work at smaller budgets if you'd like, and if it's a project you're passionate about, and it's okay to do that. I think a lot of jobs out there are very stuck with that either salary or hourly wage, and you're locked in. You're going to continue to move in that way. But when you're your own boss and you're really, you control your business, it allows you that freedom to take on work that you are more passionate about. You have a bigger stake in.
Yeah, man. And the thing is that the more you do, the more other companies get to become aware of who you are. And then what happens is you can't stifle yourself by sitting in one field. So like with me, not only do I do photography, I do videography when I have the time. I also do marketing, developing, and then presence. And presence is more based on making sure that when a particular company is in a certain area, you want them to be seen. It's not just about, okay, I posted an Instagram post and that's it. No. So how is the people going to buy tickets? How are they going to know? So there's a lot more steps that companies come to you for. Also back here, or like just a decent amount, I guess, not even a small amount of coins that I've did for like different companies and stuff like that. So I make challenge coins. So like I just finished what is it? Ash Holes of Ohio. Just finished theirs. I'm working on, I believe, Virginia now and a few other guys, which is gonna be great. So I definitely enjoy doing that.
That's excellent. Yeah, and I do have some more questions for you, but before I get into too many of them, I do want everyone to know, have your questions in the comments, because the best question is going to get a signed print sent to you, and you're gonna want this. I think it's a pretty good prize to get. So don't be afraid. Comment in there. A special thanks to Steve. Actually, I see him in the comments. Appreciate you helping out with that. And then the link you will see link to Cigar Community Builder, and you can check out not just ourselves, but a group of people who put out some really great content, including Iconic Smokers. And I'm gonna get to a couple of them right now. Actually, I want to start with something off topic, but we were talking about it before the show again. That is a pretty good one. Dream car. What is your dream car?
So my dream car it will probably never go for sale. And it's Charlie Runnels 51 Mercury Coupe. It's called Sweet Nadine. It's a sled. Dude, you guys have to look that thing up. I mean, when I tell you it's super sexy. So it's called the guy's name is Charlie Runnel, Runnels, and then it's a 51 Mercury Coupe that he has. And when I tell you that thing is fully decked out, sweet purple in color. I mean, that interior is like a piano black and white. The engine's like straight up chrome. I mean, and he got that car for like, actually, they paid him to take that car. He went to like a location. It was like under a tree, something. They were trying to get him to tow it or whatever. And then that's how he basically met his wife. There's like a whole story behind that car. So it'll never go up for sale. I'm pretty sure it'll stay in the family. But like that is like, if I can even replicate it, that would be my dream car.
Yeah, well, something that looks like that. I mean, you definitely want to keep that in the family. That is a good looking vehicle right there.
If you guys can find a picture of the interior, man, I mean, dude, the interior on that car is awesome. I mean, the engine block, everything that he did. The outside looks nice, old school white wall rims or whatever. It has that nice. I want to say he did 12 coats of paint on that bad boy. But wow. that is a car that I would baby, man. I would literally have to buy a garage and have the floor custom sealed and everything, put AC, the whole 9 yards, just to keep that thing safe.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's pretty. I think let me know if this is correct or not. If I found the right picture, but this is this is oh my goodness, that's beautiful. That's just a door right there. That's incredible.
I mean that whole car is like. I mean, his wife does like pinup photography, so she has pictures out there, standing next to the car and everything in like some 1950 clothing and stuff. So, but that's one of those cars that, man, when you see it in person, it's just absolutely astonishing. It definitely gives you a sense of the car is older than me. I'm only 37, but I mean, it's probably the same age as my mom. But I mean, that's still one of my favorite, hands down, absolute dream car to drive if I ever get the chance.
Oh, that's a good pick right there. I like where your head's at. Jeff has a question though. What type of things do you have to do to get a challenge coin? That's interesting. Okay.
So in the so way he's going at it is like, so in the military, you had to earn your challenge coin. So like after you went on a mission, what happened is you'd be bestowed with a challenge coin, um and you would go from there. And then what happened is when you go to a bar, you present your challenge coin, and somebody has a bigger one, like a higher challenge coin or whatever, then you would have to pay for the drinks. So it's kind of like an old sailors game. The police have adopted as well. So I took on like our iconic smoker, official iconic smoker coin. This one we only made 250, but these are up for sale on our website, theiconicsmokers.com. But they have perks to them. So when we sell out, we release the perks, and then people can have access to all the different perks. If you come on my show and we interview you, you actually get an interview coin, which is this one right here. That's for all the guys who come on the show. Like, and so what I made it like a little thing to where you actually have to physically come in person, so that way it's not like, oh, okay, let me just hop on a live or something or whatever. So you get to come here, hang out at the studio, enjoy the display with us, and then look at it, you know. And then if you and then as far as our group, if you join the group or whatever, we monitor the activities. We have different admins and moderators. We've actually joined forces with another group who merged with us. But like if you join the group and you're active and you post a lot and everything like that, we actually select a iconic people for iconic gold. That one's at random, and we have the iconic smoker of the month. Due to a lot of traveling, I've been slacking on it a little bit, but the list is still going. We have all the names. We just have to get the coins out. So actually, I gotta do the video for the last winner. He's already received his coin. We just have to make the announcement and everything like that. So we do different things. We host, and then when we host parties and everything, you get other perks for being a iconic smoker. So it's just inside. It's like the Martha Stewart stuff. It's all insider trade secrets. You know, when you join, so you find out little bit at a time.
Excellent, excellent. Yes, but anything you can do that's resembling Martha Stewart, that's a good way to go about it. Hardworking lady.
Besides the gym part.
Oh yeah, don't do that. That's probably not the best. But actually, speaking of following in other people's footsteps, do you have any recommendations for someone who might want to do some of the things you do? Like we were talking about the photography. Are there any little advice that you think you would be willing to give somebody?
So like believe it or not, I have I don't know what to call them. I guess like a friend. They're friends. First and foremost, they're friends. But I have like two. I would say understudies right now, whatever. So one is Javon, and then I have another friend. So I'm teaching her different, because everybody there's like, let's say there's about 35, 36 different types of photography styles, right? So somebody, you may be a street photographer, but you're not an event photographer. You may be a wedding photographer, but you're not a product photographer. So what happens is you have to develop those traits. You may be a day shooting photographer, not a night shooting photographer. So like wildlife. I mean, the list is countless. But and then what happened is that photography is like every other art. It's in the eye of the beholder. So if the person likes your work and they want to study with you, then they can definitely do that. Some advice I would give is like, start small, man. Just like take your camera to events, take photos, get an understanding of the people that you're around. I mean, the cigar industry is a very crazy industry, being the fact that most people in the cigar industry aren't from the industry. Like, and I'm going to explain that, because what happened is everybody in the cigar industry, like all the patrons of your shops, they're not just cigar heads. They all have lives. So this is their escape. So they come here to escape. So sometimes you get lucky and then you start having a conversation because you made a friend in a cigar bar. Because one of the cool things about cigar bars is that you have an opportunity to talk to people. You learn what they do. So then what happens is they can take you out of the leisure world and take you back to work world with them, and then you have an opportunity to do something else with them. And I think one of the biggest things I would tell a new person getting into it is talk to people, have conversations. You'd be surprised who lend you their ear for 5 minutes or whatever. Now, like I've had the opportunity of working with a bunch of different people from Eric Calvino from Cigar Snob, Manny Idiate, like in a bunch of Nick. There's a bunch of people I've gotten to work with, and you have to be open to criticism, man. Doesn't mean that your work sucks or anything like that. It just means that there's already a set preference, and you just have to understand how to fit within that world. Not saying that you have to take away your format. It's just you're gonna adjust a little bit so you can get in the door, and then you can go back to kind of showing off your skill set and talents once you're in the door. But you have to give yourselves those opportunities. Hopefully, I answered that question.
No, that makes perfect sense to me. Yeah, especially like you said, start small. And I think one thing a lot of people should remember is just to start. If you don't start, you're never going to get where you want to go. And no matter what equipment you might have, or like you said, you want to find your niche. You're either, because like you said, wedding photography is nowhere near the same as wildlife or sports photography or anything.
Water photography,
yeah. So you gotta experience in order to see what you like and what you want to stick with.
Mm-hmm. Now we do have another question here in the comments. It says, "What is the best way to learn Photoshop, or would there be another editing platform that you would recommend?" That's a good
question. There is you got Photoshop, you got Lightroom, you got that's for pictures, obviously. You can scrub video through Photoshop as well. A lot of people don't know that, but you can technically scrub video. So if you want to get your saturation, your colors on point, you can definitely do that. And then you can utilize for video, you have DaVinci, you have Premiere and everything. So if you're a student or if you're a teacher, you can actually get a discount on it or whatever. You don't have to pay the $60 a month for the whole platform or whatever. You could pay $20 a month and you can have at it and you can try your luck. There are free programs. DaVinci is a free program, but for video. And then there's if freaking your computer, your at-home computer has, I believe it's like Movie Maker or whatever the case may be, which also does videos. So if you want to try your luck in videos, and then as far as for Photoshop, once you get the application, and YouTube, bro, YouTube is like my number one teacher, man. I'm self-taught. What I do is I take the basis of what they tell me and I look at a bunch of different artists as I and then when I look at those different artists and then I make an executive decision, okay, this fits me, this fits me, this fits me. I combine those styles and then I put my own emphasis on it to create something that's a little bit different from what people normally see. What'd she say? She says I can say Iconic is pro at everything. I'm not gonna say I'm a pro at everything, but I will say this: I put 150% in everything that I do, and it shows. That's why Cigar for Warriors gave me opportunity to be their lead photographer. They entrust me with putting watermarks on their photos, and then utilizing my eye to select their soon to be photo releases for auction and everything like that. So being the fact that their job is to raise money for guys who are fighting abroad for us, you want to put your best foot forward and try to get the maximum return on the investment. And the investment is you guys. It's all of you. It's everybody listening to me. It's everybody watching the show. It's everybody who's going to play the replay. You guys are the investment because we invest our time, our efforts. We do everything for you guys. So that way you guys can make more money, have an opportunity to donate cigars or money or whatever you can to Cigar for Warriors. And then that way we can get it out to the soldiers. I mean, one of the things I do year round is charity. Because if it wasn't for charity, I wouldn't be who I am. I didn't grow up like this. Like some people see this and they're like, oh man, he has a silver spoon. He's balling or whatever like that. Dude, I grew up in the hood and I ain't talking about the best one either, bro. If you ever want to know where I started in Overtown. You can Google it. Overtown, Florida in the 80s. That's when you had McDuffie riots, you had buildings burning, you had robberies, murder. I mean, it was bad. And being the fact that I've had a couple of fights to the point I lost a good portion of my skull, the skin on the top of my head. I didn't officially just go bald. I lost about this much a scalp because some dude who just didn't like me because of my race decided that he was going to, and it actually wasn't. Let me clear it. It was a black guy. I'm Haitian, so he just didn't like Haitians. I'll make that clear. So just so nobody don't think anything else, I'm making it perfectly clear. Because down here in Miami, although we're a melting pot and we have 87 different languages, 96 different races, there is still racism that's prevalent. Even though we are a melting pot, but in 2022, you still experience stuff, you still see it, and it is what it is. The only thing you could do is take stride from it and understand that, hey, listen, it's just a part of the world. There's good people out there and there's bad people. All you do is the ones that are good, you get closer to them, and the ones that are bad, you let them heal over time. So yeah, no, he's definitely a bad guy, but I'm not gonna put that out there like that.
I usually don't advertise that, but that's pretty
much. Listen, you know why you're bad? You stole my cigar at IPCPR. I'll never forget that, man.
I think so. Yeah, I think I remember
my cigar. I just
talking about IPCPR.
Just did my rotation. I lit it, put it to my mouth. I put it down for 2 seconds. Look over. You're like, is this my cigar? It tastes like it.
I was like, oh, it's mine now. I mean, I don't think you want it after that.
So, like I was saying, speaking of IPCPR, now PCA, you said you do a lot of photography at these different events. You guys have your own events. Which event throughout the year is the one that you look forward to the most? If there is one.
Yeah, no. So, this is the first year that I'm gonna do all the barn smokers. So, I can't speak on the ones that I haven't been to, but as far as the ones that I've been to, the one that I'm most proud to do has to be La Zona Palooza. And the reason behind that is because La Zona Palooza is a dedicated event that Espinosa Cigar puts on for the shop owners. So if you're a shop owner, you carry Espinosa cigars, they invite you down, and it's basically a 3-day free event. They pay for everything. So, and you get to sit there and you get to talk shop if you want to, because it's not a mandate, and you get to relax, enjoy yourself, and do everything. And being able to see so many shop owners, not consumers, but shop owners in one location, it's like IPCPR, but at a smaller scale, or a PCA at a smaller scale, but it's dedicated to those mom and pops and everybody. So, and to see you guys, like especially with all the hardship you guys went through these past couple years, up until recently, I mean, to see you take a moment to be able to do this, breathe, it's an amazing feat, man. And so that's truly one of the most one of my most favorite jobs to work, being the fact that it's a family oriented event. Everything is just like you would have thought every single one of us was brother and sister, and that we were trotting around with like Adam and Eve or something. So it's crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah, that sounds like an incredible time right there.
Yeah, and if you are a consumer and you want to be a part of the event, join the La Zona group, man, and then go in there. You don't have to smoke Espinosa every day, but we do have people who smoke Espinosa 365, 366, and those guys are crazy dedicated. And then, all you got to do is post the cigar that you're smoking. It's like every other group, man. Post the cigar, show the cigar. This one's particularly based on Espinosa cigars, but you can be selected to be invited to the event, and then you get to come down and experience the same thing that I just spoke about. And I'm telling you, it's like one of those events that even you guys, you definitely have to put it on your bucket list, because what's better than being in South Florida? You know what I mean? In this horrendous weather of where we at right now, 83 degrees, sunny. I mean, it's bad, man. With a cool breeze going on. I mean, it's horrible. I mean, you know what? Don't come down.
Oh yeah, I think we have to start like some kind of charity for people's weather over there. Make sure you guys have the proper equipment and whatnot. I mean, everyone says California has the greatest weather. We have great weather here. I'm not gonna lie, but Bakersfield itself, our summers are 112 for half of it.
Yeah,
and the rest is like just getting to 100. So we have those great days of 100-degree weather. It's wonderful. It's a dry heat. So you should come over here too. We'll switch sides. We'll switch areas.
Me and the Easy Bake Oven don't get along that well.
I don't blame you. I still haven't gotten used to it.
I'll visit you. It has to be between the heat and the snow. Like that one day that you have that perfect weather, give me a call. I'll fly out and fly right back.
There we go. Yeah, we'll find it. We'll find it. Oh my god. Oh, okay. There's more questions. There are more questions on here. There was okay. You kind of covered the one we just talked about right now. There was another one that I swear I wanted to get into this. The other. Oh, okay. Before I find that one, because I there's another one that's kind of equipment based. And it's more on my nerd side because I love talking about that. But Steve was wondering. But besides, what you do for work and what you're passionate about, is there any other passions that you go into? Are there any other hobbies that is not for work, but just for you, basically?
Yeah, a lot, a ridiculous amount. But prior to this, I used to do saltwater fish tanks. My website is www.deepreefwater.com, and basically, I would build fish tanks for like everybody, rich and famous. And then I got into ponds. So I literally have, like, I'm not gonna give a number out, but I have a nice, beautiful pond in the front of my house. That's a pondless waterfall in the front of my house, and in the back of my house, I have a another pond that has Japanese koi fish imported directly from Japan. So which is so that's one of my absolute loves. I grow birds, I quails, finches, parakeets. I race RC cars when I get a chance, if ever I get a chance or whatever. But like my true, like technically, like I mean, since I can remember, my true passion was photography. So like for me to put my camera down is really hard. But I've learned that I've had to, simply for the fact that for a while, a lot of people only knew me for photography because you only saw me with a camera. So you thought that's the only thing that I did. And that becomes cumbersome because people are walking up to you like, hey, can I get a photo? And you're like, I'm working for somebody right now doing something else. And it's eh, I tend to subdue my passions to work on other things, and it's definitely helped me grown as a whole. One of the I'm a Mason as well, so being the fact that I get to serve my community in several different capacities with those hats or whatever is incredible. I've been doing that for the past 10 years. So like everything for me, I think everything just molds into together. It's like putting your fingers interlaced. So one thing just leads into another that leads into another. Like for example, when I was doing the fish tanks, I had to pay a lady every time I would do a nice tank. I pay her $300 to come out and take pictures. And then one day I was like, man, I'm paid you like 5 times. Let me just buy a camera for the amount that I'm paying you. And that's really what triggered me to buy my first semi-professional camera. Then move on to professional cameras.
Very nice. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, it fits together very well. And I had no idea about that. I gotta go bug you because I want to check out that pond. That sounds awesome.
I'm always posting like reels and stories about it. Or actually, you want to hear something crazy? So the other day, once a year, you have to do like a pond clean out. So I've been lazy because I've been going from event to event to event to event for like the last 4 years. Even during COVID, when I wasn't doing events, I was doing a lot of work for companies in house because now everything goes online. So my hat has to switch, and then you have to be marketing driven. So that was a very hefty 2 years for me. These last 2 years was very marketing driven. So finally, I got a friend of mine. I'll tell you his name in a second. And he's like, "Bro, you need what's up with your pond?" Because I had built a pond in his house. So and his fish are massive. We named the fish. And then so finally he came the other day. He came over. He's looking at my pond. He's like, "Bro, we got to do something about this." So he literally gave me a pool so we can take out all the fish. So we took out all the fish, put it there, whatever like that. And then you'll see there's pictures up on my Facebook and everything where you'll see him in the pond, in the trenches with me, sealing holes, pressure cleaning, painting, the whole 9 yards or whatever. And that person was Eric Espinosa Jr. So,
oh wow,
and that was not was it last weekend? I guess it was last weekend. So Friday I had Joe Grow and his family over at my house. His kids did Easter egg hunting in the backyard. Saturday I had Eric Espinosa Jr. helping me out with the pond or whatever. And then Sunday I had Primo Liquors, Daniel Flores over, and we were tasting out this it's a pear in a jar brandy that they make. It's the bottles are extremely hard to find. So they came over and we did like a tasting of the bottle, and then we ate the pear. Worst decision of my life is eating that damn pear. That thing put me under, because if you let a fruit saturate in alcohol, Jesus.
Yeah. Either going to be a good time or some time you're not going to remember. So
no, I definitely remember waking up. I don't remember.
Oh man. All right. So this is all right. Someone asked this earlier, and this is a question that I always love to hear opinions on, and it goes more into the technical nerdy side. But they were I'll make sure I give credit to the person because it wasn't me. Nikon Goltz asked Nikon, Canon, or Sony.
Oh, I'm about to get some hate for this. So I'm gonna look into camera one, and I am a Canon fan, because Canon color technology is the truth. Although everybody has switched over to Sony and everything like that, more power to them or whatever. But the reason people can isolate my photos compared to other people's photos is because of Canon. I mean, between the color science, the Photoshop, the Lightroom, and everything like that, you can create an incredible image that is worthwhile, like that people are proud of. Like when you give them a print, like if they ask you, I mean, it's rare that I do a lot of printed prints, but like if you ask me, I'll definitely do it. But for me, bro, there is no beating Canon. Now there will be that day, but it ain't soon for me. So that's the good part. And then the other thing is, because I shoot Canon and a lot of people don't shoot Canon, nobody has to ask me to borrow a lens or whatever. So if I go buy a lens, oh bro, let me get that or whatever. Like, wait, what do you shoot? I shoot Sony, but I have I have the ring to transition it to Sony. I'm like, nah, dude, you ain't messing up my rings.
Nope. Oh no, I got my Metabones. It's fine, it'll work. Oh.
Mm-hmm. So right now, I was shooting with the RP, moved over to the R. Now I'm at the R5. I'm running R5 for video. I run the R3. I don't really rent equipment. I like to buy my equipment, so I know I have it on hand. Some of the lenses that I love using, I have the 16, the 35, the 50, the 85, and those are all primes. I have the 24 to 70, and then I have soon I'm gonna do the Holy Grail, or the Holy Trio, the Holy Trinity. So I'm definitely getting the 70 to 200. And then I believe it's the 2 to 4, 2 to 5, depending on which one they just dropped for the RF.
Oh my goodness. See, this is the stuff that makes me super happy. I love Canon too. I usually use Panasonic just because I've always been a big Panasonic fan. I like how easy it is to use. I like their mirrorless cameras. But you, like you said, you can't beat Canon for that.
So color. I actually keep my first camera right here. It died. I want to get it fixed. I gotta send it back to Canon, but it's the Canon 70D. So it's sitting there. That was a camera that helped me start this whole mini empire that I'm building. So that is I keep it here as a keepsake. I don't think it's ever gonna move from the studio, and wherever I go, he goes too, my buddy.
Oh so, heck yeah! Oh man,
that was like my beginning camera.
The wonderful stuff. I mean, Canon from the bottom of the line, when you go to like the Rebels and whatnot, all the way up to whatever else you want to grab, the quality is always there. It seems like they never skimp.
Listen, if you're gonna buy a camera, wait till Black Friday. Get yourself a Rebel. If you don't want to wait till Black Friday, then buy a used one. Just make sure that you test the camera. Make sure that the shutter count is not ridiculously high. And just or if you do buy one with a high shutter count, ship it back to Canon, have them refurbish it for you, and then that way you could use it. Canon also sells refurbished cameras, so you could go to Canon's website, go on there, buy yourself a refurbished camera, and then start from there. And then as far as settings, like what I do is I build my own presets. So then once I have my presets ready, like what I do is I'll go to an event, I'll do the event, I'll look at the lighting, the saturation, ISO levels, all that stuff. I set the camera, take all my pictures. If I have to transition to indoor, then I'll make it a separate drive, because like for example the R5 has two card slots, so I'll switch over so I can have them separated, and then log my numbers. Or you can look at the numbers on through a camera. Obviously, if you go to the info button, And then once I log the numbers, then I when I get home, or if I have to do a quick transition at the event, I'll log the numbers, document it, and then I'll create a preset right then and there. And then you can scrub all the pictures at once, and that way you're not individually going through. And then one of the main things you have to do is use the histogram so you can see how your lighting is. And then
I need you to I need to write some notes down, because I gotta remember that.
Well, you know what? There's always replay, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Dang. That you're blowing my mind right now a little bit, because again, I don't do as well as you do. I love your photography, and I like mine.
So you want to hear something crazy, man? So I do get accolades and attaboys for my photography, but I am still not a fan of my own work, or being the fact that I am my biggest critic. So it doesn't matter how great a picture is. I'm like, man, I could have did better. I could have did this, this, and this. So I take notes every single time, and like I judge myself. So if I had to put myself on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm always at like a 4 or a 3 with myself. Other people will be like, oh man, that's an 11, bro. That's a 12. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't see what I missed. So, but you can always be your biggest critic. And look, me and you guys, we've hung out at different events and everything. We've gotten the opportunity to talk in passing. Sometimes we get to have a little extended moments, but I mean, we have a understanding. And I remember when you guys first started, I was one of your, well, I still am, but one of your biggest followers. And then I'll watch the videos. Now it's kind of more on a replay because I don't have the luxury of time as I used to. So I use you guys as my nightcap. So if I want to sit out back and smoke and watch a good interview, I get to put you guys on there. So I appreciate you dumping everything online. Makes it easy for guys like me. And a lot of people take for granted the replays, but believe it or not, man, like for example, it's 4:00 your time, it's 7:00 my time, and it's a Friday. Man, if you don't have a wife and she's not busting your balls to go out, bro, then yeah, you may have time to watch a show at this time frame. But for the rest of the world, man, they out at dinner, they're out at a party or whatever. And then and believe it or not, if you think about it, most cigar places does their events on Thursdays or Saturdays. They don't take up the Holy Friday.
Yeah.
So
it's very true.
A secret for anybody who wants to jump in. You're going to be working on Thursdays and Fridays. So if you got a job that doesn't allow you to get off on Thursdays and Saturdays, if you can't get off Thursdays and Saturdays, it's going to suck to be in this industry, because that's when most of the action happens. Friday is more for yourself, unless it's like Christmas time. And then that's when you see like Cigar Under the Stars and some other events that go down. Like even tomorrow, Saturday, we have the Cigar Snob Melanio V event going on at South Beach. So, nice. And then next week we have Big Smoke. Miami is a big mecca for events. So there's definitely always something going on. And when you're not doing the majors, then you still have the minors. You have all the cigar shops, the Drew Estate events, the this, the that, or whatever. But like, if get out to the events, man. And if somebody wants a list of events to try, like I can give you my order, being the fact that I go to a lot of them, I can definitely give you an order of how to try it. And then I can do one by budget setting, and I can do one by just bucket list setting. You know what I mean? So, but there's definitely a lot of events that you have to try. Like, yeah, when we talk about like the PCAs, the IPCPRs, and then like for example the zonas, those events are more exclusive to vendors. So you want, but like your local events, man, go to a local event, go to a Drew Estate event or whatever, and see how much swag these guys put out, and talk to them and have a conversation. Listen to Pedro say, "Hey, what up, my man?" You know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm telling you, it'll change your world. Like to go to an actual event, and then if you can go to an event that where they serve beer and wine, and if you get lucky, they let you do the BYOB. Oh, it's over, man. Match made in heaven, bro. And connect with people, man. Find somebody who does events in your area, like not like who does a lot of events, like they go out to them, not that they put on events. And then connect with them, and you'll have the ability to do so much, and you won't even realize how much goes on in your own backyard, and you're over here trying to travel halfway around the world. It's nuts.
That's 100% true. I mean, we say that all the time. Like, if you don't go to the local events, they're not going to have the local events. And then all of a sudden, that's a huge part of the industry you're missing out on. And then everyone else is going to miss out on, because you got to support the local brick and mortars. It's the only way to keep them going.
Yeah, man. And most local events are either free or 20 to 40 bucks if at best or whatever, and you get your ROI immediately, because if they're charging you 40 bucks, more than likely you're getting 1 or 2 cigars, you're getting some food, you're getting something. So it's
no,
not.
we do have to put an asterisk on that, because that 20 to 40 goes for about 30 to 70 where you're out in California. So a little asterisk on that for us in California.
Just I don't put the 10% on Florida because I don't have California heat. So you have to add that 10% for AC. You know?
That's right.
So that's very fair.
You know? So I had to step away real quick. I had to go use the restroom. I apologize. I should have done that before the show. But I don't know if you've asked him yet. What's in your rotation right now as far as cigars?
Oh no!
Oh man. Damn. What's not in my rotation? So ice. I gotta look around, make sure I don't have no witnesses to this. But on a daily basis, I can smoke anywhere from 2 to 4 cigars. If I'm at an event, I go the maximum I've gone up to is 15 cigars.
Nice.
And then my daily smoke changes on a daily basis. Although we have our own cigars like the Iconic Smoker Volume 1, Lucky Bastard, Coyaba, I still you still want to try everything. Oh, and what happened is I'll make it very clear to you: there is no bad cigar. There may be a cigar that doesn't fit your palate, but somebody loves that cigar, you know. So just if it didn't work for you, try something else. And then I have what's called the rule of threes: is buy 3 of the same cigar, smoke one right then and there, smoke one like 2 weeks to a month later, and then smoke the third one like a year or 2 later. Put it in your humidor, label it, and call it a day. Throw it away, and then go back and smoke it. And you'd be surprised how cigars age, the characteristics, the notes, the nuances, or whatever. When I first got into this hobby, man, I hated full body cigars. I was more like a medium body or whatever like that. But now, I mean, dude, I smoke full body all day, every day, twice on Sunday. You know what I mean? But because now I understand what the guys who were smoking those cigars got from that cigar, and it's not about the nicotine, you know.
Right?
No.
And then for all the people watching who wants to compare cigars to like marijuana, or they want to compare it to cigarettes. Cigarettes have 300 chemicals, cigars have 300 hands that touch it. There's a very big difference, right? No, so like to be able, like me, I've had the opportunity to travel all over the world, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, Hong Kong, Haiti, to go see tobacco and it's growing in the field and learning the soil content, the whole 9 yards, following it from ash to from seed to ash. I got to do one backwards, from ash to seed, like follow it, like where'd this come from, and just follow it wherever it lands me. But like, bro, there is a very big difference in the cigar industry and the culture. You doesn't matter what country you go to, doesn't matter what language they speak, as long as you speak tobacco, everything is understood. It's incredible. So, you know, but like right now, if we want to talk about today, I smoked the Rosario, um, the milk cream from New York. I got that from a friend of mine's, Lawrence. I wanted to try that out. It's a unique flavor profile to it. So it's kind of like what Risky's working or doing. I haven't had any of Risky's cigars yet, but it's kind of like what Risky's doing with the munchies and everything. So it has a flavor to it. So it has that characteristics prior. And then the other cigar I smoked today was the nub. My favorite nub is the single roast, but I've outgrown that as far as my palate goes, but I still run back to it, being the fact that I remember that was one of my early loves, like in the cigar industry, before I went full body and full flavored. And then there's definitely a difference between the cigars that you get from just the same everyday cigars that you smoke, and the ones that you get directly from the manufacturer. And what I mean by that is, like, you go on a trip, you go on a the safari in for Drew Estate, or you go to Espinosa, like the cigars, like right there in that country, the different altitudes make a difference, you know. Because like when you guys travel like me, so when you go to Vegas, the cigar tastes different in Vegas than it does in Bakersfield. It tastes different in Bakersfield than it does in Miami, because Miami's humid. So our you know, we keep our cigars at like 69 relative humidity. And then on top of that, like, depending if you're aging them for a long time, I like to keep my cigars at 65. I like to keep them colder. And then if it's like something I'm gonna smoke within the year, then I keep those more at like like about 70 degrees, 70, 72 degrees, somewhere in there. And then my weekly smoke, I take those out of there, and I have Tupperwares that I utilize for cigars. But like as far as cigars, I'm probably in like the 6,000 plus at this point. Like, and but I have boxes that don't exist. I have stuff that's like from other countries. Like even this right here. This is a cigar from the a bomb cigar factory when I went to Dominican Republic. This was a Lancero that the owner particularly loves and smokes himself. So I went down there and I grabbed a bundle of these, and I've been having these, and I mean they're absolutely amazing. They were amazing there. They're amazing here. When I went to Espinosa, I had the opportunity to smoke a plethora of AJ's cigars as well. Go through the whole line because he lines up the table with like cigars, and then you just pick a cigar and smoke and that's all you do. And then but man, when I tell you, you learn so much just listening. Like it's nuts.
Truly, yeah, that's the best thing too about it. Like you were saying, when you meet different people, not just learning about cigars, but learning about different aspects of life. When you're in a lounge or at the events or with the owners, even they will teach you about stuff, not anything to do with cigars sometimes, but just different aspects of life, different businesses, different passions, and it's such a wonderful thing that this right here in my hand connects so many people with so many different backgrounds. Mm-hmm. It's wonderful.
Yes, sir. I mean, the one thing, if I'll tell everybody this: when you walk in the cigar shop, the only thing I ask is for you to tell the truth. And what I mean by that is when you walk in and you go up to that aficionado, you go to that tobacconist or whatever, tell him the truth. Don't be like, oh yeah, man, I smoke Cubans or whatever, because that's what you hear. No, tell him, hey, listen, I don't smoke cigars. This is like my third cigar that I'm going to try in my lifetime. What would you recommend for me to start at or whatever? Let him guide you. Yo, okay, because he's going to ask you questions. Within like 5 questions, he's going to figure out exactly what your palate is, and you're going to be sitting in heaven right next to everybody else enjoying yourself, versus going in there and because you saw, oh, this guy has a $50 label, so you're like, oh, I'm gonna get a $75 label, and then you spark it up and you're choking and dying over there, and we're like, hey, you need water? You okay? You want to sit down? This and that, bro. Don't do that to yourself. Like, tell the tobacconist the truth. And then let them work with you, man. And then try a variety of cigars. They'll just pick up the same cigar every time you walk in the door. Like one of my favorite shops that I go to down here is Come Smoke With Us, Cigar Bundles Miami, Ashes, Aficionados, Xavier's. Like those are my shops. So Smoke on the Water and Smoking Daddy. Visit other shops, man. I get it. Yeah, sometimes they'd be like, oh, the cigar shop may think, oh, you're cheating on me or whatever like that. But the reason you visit other shops is because you want to understand the conditions that the other cigars are in. Because what happens is you may not appreciate your local lounge until you go to another lounge and they have only 3 faces, right? So like these guys may carry 100, 200, 300 faces, but and then you're like, oh, I can't find nothing here. And then you go down the street and they only got 2. You can either get a Swisher Sweet or a Backwood. You know what I mean? Like so, like travel so you could get understanding of what you and appreciate what you have, man. Because I'm telling you, like cigar shops is an old age industry and it's a dying breed, and the only people who are going to keep it alive is us. So if you don't travel, if you don't visit other shops, if you don't invest in your local lounge, it's not going to be around much longer. Especially with all the rules that are coming into play in 2022, more especially because the ATF is cracking down on a lot of different things, So like travel, man, enjoy yourself, man. This is cigars is a luxury, right? You have to be, and I'm gonna use this term lightly, but you have to be affluent to be able to afford a cigar. Why? Because you have to have disposable income. What other industry do you go to and you buy stuff? You buy stuff with money, convert money into a product, and then set the product on fire. There's no other industry. You know what I mean? So enjoy what you're doing. If you're not enjoying it, then get out. I mean, and I'm not trying to be harsh or anything, but you have to enjoy what you smoke. So smoke what you like. And yes, you know what? That one recommendation ain't gonna kill you. It's only gonna advance your palate. I want to say it took me 4 years to get my palate. So, I mean, and that's me. Some people can do it in a year. Some people could do it in a day. But the fact that I try cigars from everywhere, I get sent cigars from everywhere. Matter of fact, I got boxes sitting on my front door right now from like Camacho. I saw you guys with your Jew Estate DE25 set. rocking and doing the lighting videos and stuff. I'm talking about that's some GQ magazine stuff, man. So you know, I got to catch up, brother. You know, but like, bro, enjoy. Don't say, oh, I don't smoke Maduro because, or I don't smoke this because. You'd be surprised. They all are not the same. That wrapper does not make the cigar. I mean, it gives you flavor to a certain extent, but that binder and filler, that mix that they put, because you got some, like for example, like what is it? The Laraton from Drew Estate. That thing has 5 different tobaccos in it, including some from Haiti. So you'd have been like, oh, well, I only smoke Nicaraguan. Well, did you know that they put Haitian tobacco in that cigar you're smoking? And stop being a parrot and repeating everybody, bro. Learn for yourself. Google it. I mean, you have a smartphone, you have a cell phone that is a computer in your hand 24 hours, 7 days a week. Because the first thing you do is take a picture, but why didn't you Google the cigar to figure out what was in it? Strength, the region, origin, or whatever like that. Oh man, so now instead of saying, oh yeah, there's Nicaragua, no, it comes from the fields of Jalapa. You know what I mean? That it was grown at this certain time and region. I mean, the crops absorb this much amount of water. The soil content has this in it. That's why you taste this. When you learn that stuff, that whole wheel that we that palette wheel that we all the nerds of the industry talk about, you learn it. You know what I mean? So you're not talking about shit tastes like shaved pencils and stuff. You know?
Yeah, that's what this guy over here last time talking about. Oh, it tastes like a certain fruit roll. I'm like, I don't know about that, but it makes perfect sense what you're saying. If experience other things, and all of a sudden you're gonna be very surprised with how much more vast your selection becomes if you're just willing to expand it. Just a little bit, even just a little bit by little bit.
And guys, we are coming down to the end of the show here. We got a couple minutes left. So with those couple minutes, Jerome, if there's anything you'd like to say or
so Jeff Saban says that Jake must be a soccer fan. Yeah, I got a soccer story too. I was in Vegas with soccer during IPCPR, and we had OJ Simpson sitting behind us in the
yeah, we were there.
Yeah. Yes, I know. That's why I'm mentioning it. See,
yeah.
Memories, right? So, like, definitely, yeah, I definitely love soccer. Soccer does. A lot of people don't remember. Soccer used to work for Drew Estate. Soccer made a lot of your favorite cigars, and then the fact that he created his own company doesn't mean that his flavor profiles or his tobacco awareness went away. It just means that now he gets to hone in on what he wanted to try. That and that's it. You know what I mean? Everybody has a time and place for everything, and he's creating some amazing stuff, bro. I mean, dude, that unicorn that he created, it's $100. But if you talk to him and find out why it's $100, you're gonna buy it. You're gonna smoke it. You're gonna enjoy it. So, I mean, but you know that's all I saw in the comments. I didn't scroll all the way up or whatever. But
no worries, no, I totally agree. And that was a different night. I was not expecting to be sitting there in the glass panel behind me, and then I look around like, huh, the juice is here. All right, yeah, that's cool. That was not expected whatsoever, yes, but sir. A good memory right there. Yeah. Oh man. And then there was one more question too. I wanted us to end on, coming from Steve. Do you have a motto or a guiding principle when you're going through all this?
Oh yeah, man. All right. Yeah. So it's 2 parts. So it's, you asked 2 questions, so it's 2 parts, right? The first one is success without integrity is failure. Right. So that's my personal motto. The reason being is because, yeah, you can be successful in life, but if you had to cheat to get there, is it worth it? Because you're going to have to look over your shoulder for the rest of your life. You're going to have to worry about. And then what happened is, karma is the biggest equalizer. You know what I mean? So like, I don't need that. So be humble, be grateful. Thank everybody. Give everybody their flowers. Thank you guys for having me on the show. Now that I can say it right now. Like I definitely appreciate it. That's number 1. And number 2 is tell me your story and I'll tell you who you are. Like I believe more in the person's history than I do in their talk, because what happened is, if you can tell me what guided you to get to where you are now, then I can definitely tell if you're a good person or if you're a bad person. And what happened is, principles don't change, your age does. But your integrity stays the same. So if you were a crook at 3, you're going to be a crook at 30. You know what I mean? Like, I hear of the reform thing or whatever, and I'm not talking about prison or anything of that nature. I'm just talking about character. You know what I mean? Like if you sway on your character, people are gonna notice, man. And you can only fake the funk so long. You know, they always say shit rolls downhill, but if you're at the top and you're the one who dropped the pebble, obviously when you land at the bottom, it's gonna catch up. So, like, yeah, man, just those are my two.
Cool. No,
fantastic.
That's perfect. Yeah. All right, brother. We're really glad to have you on. I think Steve said it best. We're gonna have to have you on for a part 2, probably part 3 and 4, and however many we can get you on for. And we'll see you over at PCA too. Yes.
Yeah. I'm more than likely gonna be there. I haven't booked anything yet. But because I was trying to get all the barn smoker stuff out the way. But yeah, I definitely got to do. I'm gonna do PCA. I might do Big Smoke. I'm debating whether I gotta call these guys and see if I can get a ticket for Cigar Snobs event tomorrow with Oliva. I might do that tomorrow. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I'm usually at all the major events. I don't really do a lot of cigar weeks because they're very long. But I'm maybe next year I'm gonna try to do a couple of them. But as a spectator, not as a in business sense or whatever. I would rather be there and enjoy myself than just be running around and just be in a city to be in a city working. So
yeah, no, sounds great. All right, we're gonna let you go for right now. And what do you call it? Whenever you're ready to be back on, we're gonna have you.
Hey, I appreciate you guys, and if anybody's wondering where you can find me on Iconic Smokers on Instagram, Jerome Berry on Facebook. You can join our group, the Iconic Smokers. I'm also an admin on the Lazona group, and I'm an admin in a few other groups or expert photographer or whatever. I got a bunch of accolades, so I'll one day I'll list them, but yeah, man, I'm around, man. Go check out our website. If you have a question that didn't get answered today and you want to talk about it, just hit me up and I could definitely lead you in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. All right, brother. We'll talk to you next time.
Peace.
All righty.
All right, guys. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this interview with Jerome Berry. You guys, again, like you said, you can check him out at the Iconic Smokers on Instagram or the Facebook group as well. But that's going to do it for us. Thank you guys for joining us at our later time today, which was 4 p.m. We'll be back Monday at our regular time at 2. But for right now, it's time for us to start our weekend and get out of here. So you all have a great one, and we will see you guys on Monday.
A couple of dates. Today I will post the event and the private group for the weight loss challenge for everyone wants to join again. 5 cigar buy-in. Winner takes all. Whoever loses the most weight percentage-wise. The 14th, if you are in Bakersfield, California, or if you can make it on the 14th, we have a pool tournament here at Culebras if you want to join that.
This very pool table.
This very pool table, yes. We will not be taking up all the room, I promise you. We'll have 3 winners, food, drinks, cigars. It's going to be a good time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so if you want to get a hold of that, just message Culebras. There should be a post out on that one now,
there is,
too.
Yep.
And other than that, next week we'll have the winner for the Best Ash Contest up and going again. So I hope you will sign up for that as well. Thank you all for watching, and we will talk to you Monday.
See you guys.